Hi guys, so my name is Cassidy, and for prompt number one, which is asking how might I implement some of the knowledge or tools that our guest speaker shared in my own future classroom. And I think that something that he shared that I'll implement in my classroom was the idea that he had with the books and his daughters, how like they kind of create their own books. And I know as like a teacher in a classroom, I won't be able to give as much one-on-one support that he can like he does with his daughters. But I really like this idea. I think that it's a good way to make reading fun and interactive. I've tried like having my kids in the after school program make their own books right now, and they've actually really seemed to enjoy it a lot more than just kind of like basic worksheets or just reading a book like they do every day or every so often. So I think it's a really great way to kind of put what they've learned into perspective and try it in a different way, and it can kind of be like a fun Friday or an incentive. Like they can work on their story, and then on Friday we can like generate pictures based on what they wrote about, so they can kind of see their image come to life. And then the second one, what ideas or points stood out to me and were important or impactful. And something that really stuck out with me, and I had write it down and highlighted, was when he said, AI will destroy education if we let it, but it will also ruin it if we don't. And this, I feel like this is the part that we're really stuck at as a society. The truth is AI is everywhere and it's unavoidable, especially in education and in our everyday lives. And I think it's very important so we know how to use it in a way that's best for our students. If we hide it and tell them that they can never use it, then they're never going to know how to use it for the right reasons, and they're just going to think whenever they're using it, they kind of have a negative connotation to it already. So I feel like if we just say that it's all wrong, then we're kind of setting them up to fail with it. So I think it's important to set clear expectations and guidelines so students know how to use it properly, and then also share the consequences that come along if they choose to use it incorrectly. And then the third question, what questions do I still have after the presentation? So I would say like the only question or the main question that really just sticks with me is how to go about this. I think it's also kind of hard because it is so new that we don't really know the effects fully of how it's gonna be long term. We're kind of just seeing short term effects right now. But AI is just very broad, and these fun educational tools that we're learning about and that he shared with us too are very different than like ChatGPT or other like the AI Google, where you can just put in anything and it can give you the answer. It can write an essay for you in the matter of seconds or minutes. So kind of just like, where is that line of using it? Like, should some be allowed and some should not? Like, should ChatGPT and things along that sort just not be used? Because I mean, like 99% of the time I feel like people do use it to get answers quickly and rather than thinking for themselves. So yeah, just like how to use it in a way that really supports students' learning and not taking away from their thinking. And then what aspects of his ideas or tools might be challenging to implement in a real classroom. And the main thing for me for this is just how to manage it for students. I think like it's really great, but it's harder to tell exactly what they're using it for. And also not every student has the same access to technology, and I feel like working in an after school program right now too and seeing I feel like a main thing is like kids really know when things aren't fair, and I think that if they get really used to this, then it can cause like maybe all homework to be online. And I know a lot of schools are trying to not have them take their computers home and just kind of trying to find a fair line for everybody, and not just students who have access to like technology. Those are pretty much all my takeaways from the presentation.